Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I'm going to share with you perspective from several analysts in this video, including one who thinks that the chart for XRP looks a lot like it did in 2017, which certainly catches my interest because I was here in late 2017, and that's when XRP went on its biggest rally in history from about 20 cents all the way up to almost $4, melting faces, catching almost everyone by surprise. I kind of feel bad and sad for the people who jumped out right before him because they were impatient. XRP wasn't moving, and that's always how it goes. XRP's not moving. You want to poke that little bitch with a stick because it's not doing anything, but then suddenly it is doing something, and it goes and it melts faces, and either you have exposure when that happens or you do not. And so it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. So I'll share with you perspective, like I said, from several analysts within this video, and it'll be interesting once we have the benefit of hindsight to see who's correct and who was incorrect. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as y'all know, yesterday there was quite the ramp up in price led by Bitcoin, but broadly speaking, crypto is moving up. Certainly led by Bitcoin, though. Then we had a quick crash down, a liquidation event, and people were panicking. Oh, the sky's falling again instantly. It's the end of the world. And the disbelief, it was justified, all that stuff, right? And now we're sitting here, I guess from when the drop happened, about 36 hours later, and prices are about where they were before the drop. And in fact, so if anyone's curious, let's see, it is 11:25 p.m. Central Time. At the time I'm recording this, it's Friday, November 10th. And so XRP's at 65 cents, Bitcoin at 37,179 bucks, market cap for the asset class 1.4 trillion, crypto fear and greed index 70 out of 100, so people are still feeling greedy. Nobody's been destroyed or devastated here. I also wanted to quickly share this because this is kind of a cool day for me personally. 6 years in the world of crypto today. This is my 6-year anniversary. And so I posted the following on X about 12 hours ago. Today marks 6 years since I jumped into the world of crypto. I bought Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin in that order because that's literally all that was listed on Coinbase. It wasn't until 1 week later that I bought my first altcoin on a different exchange, and it was XRP. And folks, how time flies when you're having fun. 6 years! And I'll just say this, as frustrating as it is for everybody in the XRP community that XRP didn't hit a new all-time high because of those little pricks over at the SEC in 2021, despite that being the case, I will tell you that if I knew 6 years ago that I'd have the quantity of XRP and also just my entire crypto holdings 6 years later that I have today, it would have blown my mind. But that's because I've had 6 years to accumulate. I've had 6 years of my investments to increase in price, although some of the ones in more recent years, as I've been open about, those are down, but that shouldn't surprise you. But, the longer you're in the market, of course, you're more likely to go up as long as you're not in a project that is some sort of scam or actually going to go to zero. And so if you had told me that I'd have this dollar amount of crypto 6 years ago would have just blown my little brain. And so knowing that I have what I have because I've been patient, I haven't been shaken out of the market, I just buy and then I hold for better or worse. That's it. That's my simple strategy. It is no more complex than that. Now, when this market goes, I don't need much of a multiplier effect to get what is effectively equivalent to like a lottery ticket. And so we'll see what happens. I know nothing's guaranteed at this point. There's still time for me to screw this up or things go disastrously wrong for one reason or another, and then I'm just a very sad panda. But I'm just saying at this point, I don't need that much more for it to be worth more, and that's because I've had time in the market. I'm not trying to time the market other than find if there's a dip and I've got extra cash, I'm enticed to throw money in. But in terms of getting in and out of positions and thinking that I'm smarter than everybody else, no, I don't play that game. I sit there and hold, and that's how it goes. And it is working for me. And as far as XRP, when it goes, historically, it has really melted faces. And I think we're going to get ours. But I thought I'd just take a moment just to say thank you for all of the support. Back when I jumped into crypto 6 years ago, I didn't know that I was going to even launch a YouTube channel. I started thinking about it, about 5 or 6 weeks after I jumped into crypto, but I recognized that perhaps I was getting a little bit ahead of myself because I recognized I still did need to do a lot more research. And then I wanted to make sure that it wasn't some sort of passing interest for me, even though I didn't think it was. And so I waited over a whole year, before actually launching this channel almost 5 years ago now. It was December 14th, 2018 when I launched this thing. And it's just been a hell of a ride. So I just thought I'd take a moment, since it's an anniversary, just to say thank you to all of you very sincerely for all of the support, because I never imagined that I'd have a channel of this size. Even if it's small in the scheme of YouTube, to me, it's gigantic, and it still blows my mind. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of my fellow XRP holders in the community out there. I really do very genuinely appreciate that. And we're going to get ours. Like, look, I've been here 6 years. I'm ready for it, but I'm also not impatient. And I swear on my life that's true. After 6 years, and I've held 1 week from today, it'll be my 6-year anniversary of holding XRP. I am still not impatient. Yes, I would like for this to have happened already, but is what it is. SEC came in, but the market's absolutely still moving in tandem. And so I thought I'd share this perspective from Credible Crypto and then get into the XRP stuff. He was talking about Bitcoin here, but Bitcoin leads the market. And especially after what happened yesterday, what's happening? Well, he's got a very optimistic view, despite the event yesterday where prices crashed down rather quickly after climbing up. He says, all things considered, low time frames look very healthy at the moment as Bitcoin slowly grinds up after our last liquidation event. Levered players are sitting on the sidelines, spot is net buying, funding is decreasing, and open interest is actually lower than it was before the last liquidation flush. Without any buildup in open interest, there is little incentive to manipulate price lower, as there is not much liquidity to flush out by doing so. I think this correction ends and we resume up only a lot quicker than most are expecting. And he shared this chart. I'll make this full screen for just a moment. So that would be fantastic if so. But I certainly was not of the mindset, and I don't think you need to be a chart analyst to understand this. In this type of environment, you're not going to go up in a straight line. So yes, things very bullish right now. We are not in a bear market, obviously. And so the fact that we had a liquidation event yesterday and it scared a bunch of people certainly didn't scare me. Although I will say, I don't think it scared most people, because prices did end up stabilizing. And you look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Most people are still feeling rather greedy right now. I don't see why that would change anytime soon. Now, given that I was here in late 2017, that was a weird time to jump into crypto, by the way, because that was weeks before XRP entered its greatest face-melting rally in history. Oh, what a tease for somebody like me to jump in at that time and witness that, get spoiled with the endlessly exciting price action, and then to go, for years after that, basically sideways and down. It's just a weird time to jump in, but I recognize that was likely the case. Even when we had the bubble from 2017 fully inflate and then pop, I just thought to myself, well, it might be years until that comes back. So once prices cratered, from the highs, I started dollar cost averaging into XRP back when it hit, I think 55 cents was the first time I jumped back in. And then I just dollar cost averaging down, just for years on end, being at a loss because I was regularly buying. I can't remember, maybe it was every week or every 2 weeks, whatever I was doing. But I was regularly on schedule, dollar cost averaging in, and I was just down. And I am glad that I did that. I will just say that, because I just, again, like I said a few minutes ago, I never thought I'd have as much crypto as I do now. So in terms of what to expect moving forward, I'm going to share with you perspective from this analyst who I actually wasn't familiar with here. But again, like I said at the outset, let's just see who's right and who's wrong. I like to give people chances here, but this analyst says that, hey, chart formation for XRP looks a lot like 2017, and what happened in 2017 is from a particular moment in time, and I'll show you in the chart in a second here, ended up having a 900% rally for XRP. XRP could be on course for a substantial rally amid the gradual shift in market sentiments, as it recently printed a 1-month candle pattern similar to the 2017 setup that eventually resulted in a 900% rally. Now, let's pause to note here, when they say 900%, they're talking from a particular moment in time. XRP started the year somewhere in the neighborhood of half a penny. So from bottom to top, XRP was up tens of thousands of percent. So when they say only 900%, they're talking from that particular moment in time. Anyway, and by the way, this comes from somebody who is a self-proclaimed Bitcoin trader, and he's still pro. So it doesn't mean he's a maximalist necessarily. But anyway, Tony, a prominent Bitcoin trader, and founder of CoinChartist, first called attention to this pattern in a recent market analysis. His commentary suggested that most market participants might not get enough time to accumulate more XRP tokens before the next bull run. The analyst presented a 1-month XRP chart showcasing a peculiar candlestick setup that could signal an imminent explosive run. Interestingly, XRP formed this exact candlestick pattern 6 years ago before recording one of its most substantial historic runs. Yeah, and so I'll note, in terms of dollar appreciation, that was the most substantial. And then in terms of percentage increase, it would still be up there. And then they're right here. Notably, the pattern started with the formation of a green candle in August 2017, when XRP began the month at 16 cents and closed at 14 cents, representing a 58% monthly increase. However, XRP lost most of those values the next month, closing September 2017 at 23% loss. The bears aimed to push the losses to October, but faced resistance from the bulls, leading to a meager 0.92% decline. XRP recorded a comeback in November 2017 with the bullish sentiment spilling to December, when the asset soared to a high of $2.47 amid a 746% monthly surge. Yeah, and I remember exactly this moment, jumping into XRP, and the first time I bought XRP, I want to say it was 20 or 21 cents. It was right around there. And it's just so funny because I remember, and I've said this before, but there's, for the new subscribers out there, or maybe even if you've been listening, maybe you haven't heard me tell this very short story here. But I remember leading up to that face melting rally, watching a YouTuber, I can't remember who it was, and probably out of shame deleted the video by now, but there's this guy, and I can't, he looked like he was in a park or on a playground or something like that. And I just remember how he was talking about, look, I held XRP. It's the one that just, it hasn't, I've been holding it for so long, since whatever the price was that he's holding it. And then everything else goes, oh my God, the opportunity cost, I could have put it in anything else and it would have just gone. And she's like, I just sold it. I had to sell it. I'm getting out. I'm out of my XRP position. And he gave up. So he got impatient. The market wasn't moving on the timeline he wanted. So he got out. And hey, he's entitled to. But I kid you, it was a matter of days later that XRP started ramping up. It just already beginning to melt faces, and it went on the biggest run in history in terms of dollar appreciation. And this guy he missed it by days because he was impatient. And to me, that's a lesson. You know, if your rationale for getting out of a position is because you're annoyed that it's not doing something on the timeline that you want, because I want my number, no, I want my number now, though. Well, okay, but you can be a little adult child if you want to. But I think that this is just one anecdotal incident that isn't unique, though. People do this all the time. It's an anecdotal incident, but I think makes the point that that doesn't always pan out so well. And so that's why I keep saying, either you have exposure when things go or you don't. And that's why, for me, for better or worse, once I buy a crypto, I just hold. And then my strategy is either it's going to be worth way more in the future and I sell it, or it won't be, in which case I just let it go to zero. Because sometimes, too, even when you think a crypto is dead, it just comes back to life. And so I just want the exposure. That's what I decided for me. It's not the right answer for everybody. I'm not advising anybody to do what I'm doing. I'm just saying what I'm doing because it's fun to share these thoughts and concepts. But that's it. I just sit there and I hold, and that's it. And it's been working really well for me. And so despite the coins where I'm down, I'm up substantially on so many. It's a strategy that I already knew it worked in the stock market, because I already had data showing that people that get in and out of positions, or when the price goes down, they sell out of fear, or they're impatient. Those are the people that lose money. I already knew that was true in the stock market. So I thought, well, in crypto, I know it's way more volatile and crazy, and there's a lot less certainty, certainly a lot more risk, but it's the same humans with the same DNA making these silly-ass emotional financial decisions. So I thought, I'm just not going to be one of those. I'm just going to buy, and then whatever happens, happens. And that's part of the reason that I've been gravitating towards larger cap coins almost exclusively. You could say some mid cap coins, I suppose, but the reason is those are more likely to be there from one cycle to the next. Like you're talking about Bitcoin and ETH and XRP and some other big ones. You know, Cardano, I've been holding that since 2017. I think I first bought that at like 2 or 3 cents. And what did it get up to? Over $3 last cycle. I think it's about 37 cents earlier today. So anyway, I'm just saying, the ones that are more likely to hang around, that's the reason this works. It's not rocket science. I'm not a wizard. I'm not a chart guru. I'm just a dude. But see, the cool thing is, Anybody out there can do this. Everybody listening can do this. It just takes patience and emotional fortitude to get through these very difficult times. And so he shared this chart. This is just an XRP USD chart on your screen. Going back to 2017, you can see the two boxes he highlighted in green, one in 2017, the end of the year, then one in here in 2023. And Tony the Bull wrote, imagine if it happened that fast when everyone thinks they have months to years to accumulate. Hashtag XRP. XRP has formed the same 1 month Japanese candlestick setup as late 2017, right before a 900% candle. Thin order books, unwinding of shorts, and FOMO can pack a powerful punch. And folks, historically, this is how it goes. XRP, it doesn't tend to grind up. Yes, it moves in correlation with the market, broadly speaking, but in terms of the moves that result in it maintaining its position in the top 10 like it always has for over a decade now in terms of market cap, that's because it has these big bursts that sustains it for years on end, and then most of what it is to hold XRP is sideways or downward price action. I shared on whatever that website was, it Crypto Rank? I think that was the name of the website. I shared the chart showing that most months on any given year, XRP is actually down. I kid you not. It's almost, if you bet, is XRP going to be up or down this month? If you bet down, you have a high probability of being correct. But the reason that we haven't trended down into oblivion, down to zero after all that, since most months we are down, is because we get these huge bursts upward every now and then, but they are not common. But that sustains us. That's why we're here. That's just the way it's been treated. I can't explain why. I'm observing it's the case. And I don't mind it because, look, it just shakes people out. That's what it does. And then ultimately when it goes, and then that'll be my exit liquidity. That's pretty much it. Chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay, who writes for Cointelegraph, noted, and I don't want to read all this. I try to not get too into the weeds with chart analysis stuff, as many of you are aware. But he did note that XRP, if it's going to be moving to the upside, on the upper end, for the short term, he's looking at potentially 85 cents. And that caught my attention because should that occur, I remember the blockchain backer saying, okay, just a couple days or so ago, if XRP actually hits that level, that's the last major notable level of resistance, at least for the short term. And if that goes, get ready for the fireworks, right? And then there was also this. So this, what time did this? This is this morning. Yeah, at 5:41 a.m. today, I posted, and that's Central Time. Despite the climb and fall of crypto prices yesterday, Bitcoin is in the 37,000s again. What happens next? And chart analyst Greg Crypto responded to me and simply wrote 48K. So he's obviously very optimistic. He's not the only one at this point, but very optimistic that we are going to be seeing a move to the upside. And then he also shared this post in the early hours in the AM today. He wrote, XRP MYAT, multi-year ascending triangle. Although it is old and not updated, it is worth noting that XRP experienced a breakout above the symmetrical triangle after reaching the 70% completion mark, which aligns with July on the chart. The recent surge to 93 cents and the subsequent retest at the breakout point seems to be part of a standard retest process. So what's on the horizon? Well, A, XRP appears to be poised to reach $1.30, marked by the blue ascending triangle. B, the next significant move could take it to $5.50, where a considerable sell-off by retail investors is anticipated. C, following that, XRP might see a 500% pump based on the larger symmetrical triangle. Exciting times ahead. And folks, again, we'll see who's right and who's wrong. This doesn't sound wacky to me, but I just don't make price predictions myself. But like I keep saying, and it is worth repeating, repetition is a tool that humans use to emphasize points that are of crucial importance, and I'm using it here. It seems impossible until suddenly it happens, and then you're like, oh yeah, it wasn't impossible. And then everybody just agrees, of course it was going to happen. XRP had it coming. Of course, it had been depressed for so long, or suppressed rather, for so long. SEC under attack, but then it got legal clarity, and the market ramped up, and it'll just be perceived as, yeah, duh, it's not surprising, right? Even the XRP haters will end up saying stuff like that then. Right now, they're acting like it's never going to happen. But then once it happens, like, yeah, even that S-word coin XRP. I've seen this before. When XRP goes up, yeah, even that S-word coin XRP, of course it was going to go. It goes up once every half a decade. They say crap like that. Meanwhile, we'll be making life-changing wealth, and they can have their, 2% gains with Bitcoin. Good for them. Good for them, everybody. And then there was this from chart analyst Dark Defender. he shared this XRP USD chart and just provided a real quick update. And this was early in the AM today. He wrote, "Hi all, XRP broke the 4-hour support at 66.49 cents, but is still strolling around it. The daily still has not broken yet. We call this C wave expanded C, and it's completely technical. We wicked to 62.87 cents yesterday, and Fibonacci support there is 61.31 cents. This correction is completely technical and routine. I trust XRP to consolidate between 66 cents and 61 cents and continue to finalize the fifth wave at 87 cents very soon." And so just wanted to point out that chart analyst Dark Defender believes that there's nothing to worry about based on current price action. And again, XRP, it's just a hair over 65 cents at the time that I'm recording this here. So nothing particularly wacky, but look, in the end, this is why I like to keep things simple, and this is part of the reason I don't want to get into technical analysis. I genuinely don't have interest in it. It's because I don't need it. I know, and I've been proving this out to myself for 6 years, if I just buy stuff that isn't complete crap and then I hold for longer periods of time than other people, it becomes worth more. So I don't need to get into the nitty-gritty and understand technical analysis and then overwhelm myself with doing hours of analysis every single day, since I'm genuinely not interested in that. I'm glad that there are people who do have genuine interest in that, and we all have different interests. Then we have a certain overlap in that we're all interested in crypto, and we're all interested in XRP. So I appreciate that people have varying degrees of interest, because hearing their perspective, I think it helps people. And nobody's perfectly right all the time, but just giving people an idea of what might potentially happen, I think when we see certain things unfold, even if they're negative, that helps people to have cooler heads than they might otherwise have, and can help to prevent people from making irrational buying and selling decisions. So not in terms of taking what all these people are saying as financial advice, but more so just understanding if the bad stuff happens, calm yourself, don't let the feels hit you. Calm yourself and then make your own informed decision, because nobody knows what's right for you except for you or your financial advisor, and then just make informed decisions based on logic and data and reason. That's pretty much it. And so all of this stuff really does help here. So it's just a matter of time, though. As long as Bitcoin keeps going up, why wouldn't XRP ultimately follow? And so, even though there are prolonged periods of time where XRP price action isn't that exciting, I'm telling you, folks, I got so spoiled jumping in 2017. When it goes, though, man, it's a lot of fun. And that's why I also say, though, when XRP has little bursts up, we say little, XRP went from 61 to 73 cents in what period of time? Inside of a day or whatever it was? Like, I always say celebrate that stuff. Have fun with it. We deserve to enjoy it, If people beat themselves up and let their emotions destroy them when stuff's going to the downside, well, then give yourself the flip side at least. Enjoy the good parts where it goes up. Have fun with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's always going to be those sour people say, yeah, well, talk about excitement, price action when XRP's above $1. Like, no, shut up. Shut up. Quit being a stick in the mud. Have fun with this. It's okay. Like, come on. So, a lot to look forward to here. And actually, I want to highlight one more thing before wrapping up here. I found another analyst who actually is saying now that it is possible Bitcoin hits a new all-time high before the year's over. And I'd only found one analyst that I follow, anyway, who is of high repute, who believes that we're going to be seeing an all-time high for Bitcoin this year, and that's Credible Crypto, with about 350,000 followers on social media platform X. Well, now there's another analyst here who has quite a following as well, and he thinks that it's plausible that we actually could see a high for Bitcoin this year. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't pretend to. We're going to find out who's right and who's wrong together, but it's fascinating. And so here's a headline from the Daily Huddle. Bitcoin soaring by over 85% before end of year, not unthinkable, says analyst who predicted Bitcoin 2021 top. And so, folks, if this happens, it seems less wacky that XRP would actually now soar up to like $4 to $6. Because, by the way, going back to that chart analyst from earlier, Tony the Bull here, and he is talking about for November, if you look at the chart here, he's talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of over $4. That would be this month. So if this is to be taken literally, and then it looks like the next one would be December, so that would be closer to $6. And again, I'm not saying I agree it will or will happen. I'm not saying it won't happen either, though. I'm saying I do not know flatly. But again, When it happens fast. So if Bitcoin's actually going to get that high, I'm just going to say, crypto be crazy, man. Crypto be crazy. So we'll see. But anyway, a piece reads as follows. A widely followed crypto trader says that Bitcoin could possibly soar by double digits over the remaining weeks of 2023. Pseudonymous analyst Dave the Wave tells his 142,800 followers on the social media platform X that it is not unthinkable for Bitcoin to rally to the record high of slightly over $69,000. Such a move would see the flagship crypto asset soar by about 87% from the current level. And I don't really need to get into the technical reasons for why. I don't need to read it any further. I just wanted to note there's another analyst here with a notable following who's been around for years and years and years on end. And he actually thinks that this is, not sure exactly what the probability is in his mind, but actually thinks it's plausible that we could be seeing that. So, again, but that's why I go back to, for me, it doesn't matter in the end. Like, I'm interested just like you. It's fun to, like, talk about this stuff and follow the perspectives from analysts and other people out there in the space just to see what people think might be happening, because it is exciting, right? But the good news for someone like me with my particular strategy is, in the end, it's not going to matter. However long it takes, and then I'm just going to outweight everybody because I am stubborn AF when it comes to this. Nobody's going to outweight me when it comes to my crypto holdings. Nobody. I feel zero impatience even after literally 6 years. No, I feel zero impatience. I will not be defeated here. Either I'm wrong and this all goes to zero, possible, or it's going to be worth a freaking fortune. Now, I'll just tell you, again, after 6 years, the amount that I put in and the amount of appreciation, if I knew that I would have this 6 years ago, I can't tell you the level of excitement that I'd have. And so I just kind of grew into it, so I had bits of excitement along the way, but it is kind of surreal. It is kind of surreal. And knowing that we are, to some degree, just a bit before, or at least believing we're, to some degree, we're a bit before another major move, even if it's a year away, whatever it ends up being, fine. With this, when it goes, the multiplier effect that I'm looking for at this point, it doesn't need to be that big. And so then when I factor that in with everything else, and I'm sure you guys think along these lines too, you think about how much your crypto is worth, what it could be worth, what it means for your total net worth in conjunction with everything else you've accumulated for your life. And then you think about, okay, if you get that profit from your crypto, what can you do with it? You invest in real estate, put it in equities, and then to what degree is that going to make you even more wealth over the span? Even if you put it in something that's way less risky, just putting it in equities, and then let that grow over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years or longer. I mean, even if you say you only, and this sounds small to people in crypto, which is kind of ridiculous, but even if it's only $1 million, you understand that even in equities, you can expect that to double every 7 to 10 years, even in boring equities. So if you have that, and then you can live off interest, and just there's so much you can do with it here, and that's why you look at it too. It's like when you think how much XRP is going to make for you, whatever the profit's going to be. If you think it's not big enough, well, you get to subjectively choose that because we all have different price targets and different expectations and desires in life, and financial goals and all that. But just consider, if you're one of the people that isn't convinced you're going to have a sufficient quantity of XRP even at the peak of the cycle, you subjectively choose that. I'm not going to tell you that's true or not true because, again, it's an opinion, so it wouldn't make sense. But just think, okay, even if that's true for you, what if you invested that? What would be worth in the future? Because once your XRP is worth a fortune, it's not done making you money unless you're an idiot. I mean, you can go blow it all on hats. Bonus points if you know what movie reference that is. Without Googling it, so you could go blow all your XRP profits on hats. Or you can invest it and live off it and just maybe spend a little bit, have some fun with it, but then just let it grow your wealth even further. And then instead of whatever dollar amount you think your XRP profit is, okay, that's technically what it is, but what's it going to do for you? When you put it to additional work, whether it's real estate or equities or whatever you're going to invest in. And it can absolutely be life-changing, even if it's not quite what you want. Let time pass, and then it just is. And so for me, getting into crypto, it's broadly just been about getting that type of wealth accumulation in frankly, a much faster time period than otherwise would be possible in any other asset class. That's the appeal of this. That's why we're here, obviously. And it is real. But it doesn't happen overnight. Look, I've been at this 6 years, and I've taken an approach where I'm not going to get into the low cap coins with rare exception. And even when I did, I barely put any money into them. And because, again, with the thousands of coins out there, what are the odds you're going to pick the winner? Pretty low, right? And people get eaten up by that stuff. And so I just is like, here's my approach. And I decided it in 2017. Here's roughly my approach. Just going to buy stuff, and then I'm going to sit. I'm going to hold. Whatever happens, happens. That's it. And then I'm going to take that money, and I'm going to reinvest it. And I'm never going to have to worry about money ever again in my entire life. That's the plan, right? Isn't that what you're all here for, too? It's real. You got to be patient, though. I mean, what if it is another couple years until this thing really takes off and XRP finally goes? That will mean that I waited 8 years. Oh, boo-hoo, 8 years for life-changing wealth. I'm an adult. I'm not going to bitch about that. I will be thrilled by that. That is outside the scope of anything that almost any human in the history of our species has ever experienced. Yes, I'm going to be thrilled if it ends up being 8 years. It's crazy thing. And I was 34 years old when I jumped into crypto. Now I'm 40. But I don't have any extra gray hairs. Not from that anyway. Not from crypto. Not from crypto. Because I am chill when it comes to my crypto investments. I will tell you that. But so even if I'm 42 and it goes, okay. Boo-hoo, I'm 42 and I've got X amount of money that I'm not going to say. Should it go the way that I think it's going to go. Boo-hoo. Woe is me. I had to wait 8 years for my lottery ticket. Come on. It's going to be good times, folks. It's going to be good times. So we'll see who's right. We'll see who's wrong. But even if things disastrously break down, I will be here a year or 2 or 3 from now, whatever it takes, because the market is trending upward. It absolutely is. And I also have diversified, because even though XRP is my largest individual holding, my favorite cryptocurrency, I've got broad exposure. I hold almost 30 different cryptocurrencies. And so I think that's good too. I mean, if you're a person that holds just one coin and then you're beholden to whatever price action that is, I think that would be emotionally harder for the typical person. If you're a maximalist or you just choose you're only going to hold one coin, well, do whatever you want. That's okay, fine. But I think that watching everything else take off when you don't have your thing, and thing taking off and it's XRP, I imagine that would be supremely emotionally hard. Now, it's also true that, especially in bull markets, it's going to feel like everything is taking off except for the stuff that you hold. But you got to understand, and you might be experiencing this already because stuff has been taking off. So certain things have been. There are over 20,000 freaking cryptocurrencies. So yes, most of the time when you hear about so-and-so coin taking off, there's a high probability you don't own it. And you've probably never even heard of it. So what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean go chase it. Once you hear about it, it's already too late. The gains have already been locked in by people. You know, it's already rallied X%. The tops are already about there in all likelihood anyway. So yes, it's normal that you're going to be hearing about all of these coins taking off and, oh, but mine aren't, my XRP or whatever it is, pick your coin. But that's normal. You should expect that. And that beats people down. And that's why I just want to give you a friendly reminder here. You should expect that. Most of the time you hear about a coin taking off, you should expect that you don't hold it. It doesn't mean that you've made poor decisions or you did something stupid or you did something wrong. It's just a numbers game. There are over 20,000 coins. Of course you're going to miss almost all of them. You're going to miss almost 100% of those. I mean, you're going to miss probably 99.9% of all those coins that are taking off because you can't reasonably hold all of them. And even if you could, how much money do you have? You're going to buy like 5 cents worth of each of them? Come on. That won't do you any good. That won't do you any good anyway. So, I mean, you know, it's okay. Having a certain level of diversification makes sense. I'm just saying, when a coin takes off, don't beat yourself up for not being in it. That doesn't make sense. Just understand that eventually money cycles through, and either you have exposure to the coins you have before they take off or you don't. And so understand that eventually the money does come around, and historically that's what we've seen, especially for the large cap coins. They keep going higher and higher and higher, cycle after cycle after cycle. XRP is going to get its. That's what I'm sharing with you. What a fun time. 6 years in, folks. I'm feeling spry. And yeah, it would have been nice if this had happened a couple years ago, but the SEC, you know, a bunch of asshat pricks, they did what they did, and here we are. But that's all right. That's perfectly okay. I could not be more excited. I'm much more excited today than I was 6 years ago. It's real, it's possible, and it's just the most empowering message, and it's so true. Everybody out there listening right now, you do indeed have the opportunity for life-changing wealth. And look, I'm not selling it. I don't have any financial product to sell you. I'm just saying what I know to be true. You know, A lot of people, you might kind of question, they're trying to sell you a course or this or that. Not that all courses are bad necessarily, but a lot of people try and sell, and then you're kind of questioning, okay, is it just a quick money grab? What's going on? I have nothing to sell you. If I had a financial course, it would be the most boring and short course in history. You'd click the play button and it would just say, buy crypto, put in cold storage, then don't do anything. Now give me $100. That's what my course costs. So give me your $100. That's it. That's the course. You just got it for free, right? You just got it for free. That's it. So anyway, but it's so empowering. We all can absolutely have that life-changing wealth. And I see that I'm well on my way for this, my crypto wealth. And again, one more cycle. This will be my third bull cycle when this thing comes around. And I've had the time to accumulate. I've had the time for my earlier purchases to become worth way more. I've not sold. And here I am. It has worked so far. One more, and then I'm out. I'm going to sell it all, or almost all of it at a minimum, assuming this thing takes off. And then when prices crater on down, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it all over again. I'm going to start buying more, and I'll start dollar cost averaging in, and I'll be down probably for years in many cases on the new investments, and that's fine. And I'm going to be running this YouTube channel, and we're just going to do it over again. The opportunity is there. It is very real. The opportunity for life-changing wealth is very real. We can all do it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.